The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome. This is TVWAN News. I'm Carol Kidu Jr.
And I'm Tracy Pa. Join me later for sports.
In this edition, 90 million Kineta Quarry Road project launched, pottery making very much alive in Makam, and Gurus prevail over fast finishing premiers. The Takeanda community in Enga province embraced the challenges of understanding mental health disorders through mental health care training run by the Directorate of Social Change and Mental Health Services and Enga Provincial Health Authority. A total of 20 participants attended the training, including members from Enga PHA and other districts. The training sessions were led by experts in the field, providing comprehensive insights into various aspects of mental health disorders.
The primary mental health care training represents a significant advancement in equipping healthcare professionals with the knowledge and skills necessary for effectively addressing mental health disorders within their communities. The collaboration between the Directorate for Social Change and Mental Health Services and Enga Provincial Health Authority underscores a shared commitment to promoting mental health awareness and enhancing mental health services in the region. The way forward has been set to encourage the group to be an implementer of community mental health programs in Enga Province.
We visited many, the organizations and also met with important people there to make a difference and to bring community mental health program into Enga.
The Directorate for Social Change and Mental Health Services, Dr. Uma Ambi, highlights the importance of this program. Some of the topics covered were what is mental health and mental illness, causes and types of mental illness, combating depression, managing psychiatric emergencies, and drug and alcohol abuse. The sessions covered a broad spectrum of critical topics relevant to mental health disorders, ranging from anxiety and depression to substance abuse and psychotic illness. Participants actively engaged in discussions and practical exercises aimed at enhancing their understanding and skills in managing these conditions.
And I'm quite satisfied with these critical topics which is relevant to mental health have been taught to them, and the training sessions allowed them to have a further discussion, especially the path forward and how we can transform Enga and also Highlands overall. And overall primary healthcare training represents significant advancement in equipping healthcare professionals, especially in PHA Enga, with the knowledge and skills necessary for effectively addressing mental health disorders within their community.
In addition to the training session, electronic presentations and printed promotional materials were distributed to participants, serving as valuable resources for ongoing reference and education in mental health care. Susan Oreape, TVWAN News.
Roadworks are yet to start at Bondi, Medang Province, despite the release of a 3 million Kina grant in December 2023. Bondi LLG manager John Curry expressed his frustration when assisting an asthmatic woman from Bondi to Maman Health Center. The woman was carried by relatives on a bamboo stretcher and they walked for 3 hours to reach the accessible part of the road for vehicle assistance. Curry said the sick patient was carried all the way because of a number of landslips along the road, making it inaccessible for vehicles. The inaccessibility of the road is also a hindrance for teachers teaching at Bondi Primary School and the new high school, including health workers serving in Bondi. More than 30,000 people living in Kagua, Erave and Yalibupange districts will benefit from the 90 million Kina Rindita Kware Road sealing project. Member for Kagua, Erave Maino Pano and Minister for Defense Dr. Billy Joseph officially launched the multi-million Kina Road project recently in Kware.
The Kinita Kware Road sealing project, once complete, will connect more than 30,000 people of Kagua, Erave and Yalabu Pange district, was officially launched early last week in a small ceremony at Kwali, Lombu village in Kagua, Erave by the local MP, Maino Pano, and Minister for Defense, Dr. Billy Joseph. The road itself is estimated to be 20+ kilometers long and worth over 90 million Kina and is part of the missing links under the Connect PNG flagship program of the Marape Rosso government. Pano said the launch signifies the commencement of immediate work progress on the long-anticipated Kinita Kware road sealing for the forgotten people living along the stretch of road.
Member, you stop inside, and the road and governor staff, member stop inside, welcome some money about Budim, like member Budim, and run by Watson. The government looks away, and big money. This line of project, some blood on the team service yet. Some blood on the team service, masking minister step back, on the team service yet, don't stop us yet.
The MP encouraged local people to maintain peace and good order as the contractors work to complete the project.
Money back and back. Tomorrow you allow 6 money back and back to you. We don't thank you, Baba God, Lord, use him. Wisdom, Lord, minister's law. Anything meeting are given to a big law. Welcome back to contractor, Lord, you know. Coco Nerabe, MM, company for you. So let them go. Let them go, I'm not going to stay with mom.
Dr. Billy Joseph, representing the national government, to officiate the groundbreaking ceremony and credited MP Pano for his efforts in securing this major project for his people. He told the people to embrace the project and start economic activities, including growing coffee, once the road is completed. Road contractor CPEC was challenged to deliver the project on scope and schedule with quality workmanship. The contractor ensured the government and people of Kagua Erave that work will start immediately as they are already on the ground with successful mobilization of equipment and plants. This important economic corridor road, when fully completed, will connect Kagua Central and Kware LLGs in Kagua Erave and further link up to the two electorates of Yalabu Pangia and Mendi Muniu. Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
The Royal Australian Air Force members have been working tirelessly in PNG, moving humanitarian supplies and construction materials and ensuring the safe transportation of security personnel. In a recent trip to Daru, RAAF members delivered much-needed stationery and sporting equipment to the St. John's Primary School and took time out to participate in various games and sporting activities with the staff and students. These efforts were part of Australia's Defence Pacific Air Programme, which deploys an air mobility detachment to Papua New Guinea on a regular rotational basis. The program has also facilitated recent engagements between the RAAF and the PNG Defence Force, as well as other PNG government agencies. As a gesture of kindness and goodwill, the Jubilee Catholic Secondary School today donated clothes and household items towards the eSipic disaster appeal, which were officially handed over to the Wontok Bilong Sipic Association today at the school grounds.
The donation by the Jubilee Secondary School was made by the Deputy Principal Janet Sengi to the Chairman of Wontok Bilong Sipic Association, John Wesley Gonjuan. Wontok Bilong Sipic is a charity group formed to fundraise to assist people along the Sipic River who had been affected by the earthquake and the river floods last month. According to Mr. Gonjuan, the floods happened before the earthquake, thus it made the soil soft enough for the houses to fall in the wake of the earthquake.
With regard to the high tide or the flood, it's a normal event for us. It comes every 3-4 years, the high tide. And people have adapted to it and they've lived with it. The issue that happened was the earthquake that came about. And that caused a lot of damaged houses. About 1,000 homes were destroyed. 3 or 4 people were killed. And things are settling down now, but we continue to need foodstuff and other essential items to help them out, especially medicine, clothing, cooking utensils, and so forth.
The earthquake occurred about 38 kilometers away from Ambunti Station and 40 kilometers deep into the core. About 1,000 houses in 18 villages along the mighty Sipic fell because the foundations were weak in the high flood water levels, about 10 to 18 meters high.
And by the end of the month, we'll be able to store them in a container and also send them across to Sipic. Now, Bismarck Shipping has come on board to help ship whatever we have collected, and we are working on the arrangement to finalize the arrangement in order to ship the cargo by the end of this month.
Though the earthquake came only once, compounded with the prolonged high water levels of the flooding has damaged homes and livelihoods. People are still living in canoes and on top of fallen houses.
This is not the first time that Jubilee has supported an appeal as part of the Lasalian charism. And in our school, we teach our students to also give. So they've given to a lot of appeals. This is one of them.
Jubilee Catholic Secondary School has called for donations because the school population is mostly Sipics. There is a disaster appeal center in Wewak, which is receiving all donations from across the country, including financial donations. What is collected in Port Moresby is stored in containers and will be shipped to Wewak by Bismarck Shipping. For the Jubilee Catholic Secondary School, it is not the first time to donate to charity as such.
One of the principles of being a Lasalian is giving, putting other people before you, helping the last, the lost, and the least. And I think that's one thing that really made us take the initiative to give to the school. As she also mentioned, almost half of the school, or maybe a quarter of the school, is filled with eSipic students. So that is one reason why we took, why we gave back to them, why we donated to them as well.
Mr. Gonjuan thanked all who participated and continue to participate in the Wontok Bilong Sipic appeal, which ends on April 27th. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
When we come back, priest shares alarming information of arms buildup in Hela.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase EasyPay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo,
PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
The Toyota JD Hi-Ace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hi-Ace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hi-Ace bus and experience the Hi-Ace pride. The bus that exceeds all expectation.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like you more.
This season, the Bunce family are taking the ultimate risk.
There's no investors, there's no third party.
We're paying for it ourselves.
We have to find some good jade.
The stakes are high, and every decision is their own.
Time and money is everything. That's how important it is.
Hit it!
Rush, 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 move, move, move.
It's all or nothing.
If we don't mine this year, we have no next year.
Jade Fever, streaming now on Outdoor.
Let the battle begin!
Oh! He's knocked out! That's a big right hand, but he's gone! And I don't think he'll get up from that.
This fight could be over!
Oh! Mayweather makes him pay! He's not going to make it! 9 and 10!
And that's the fight! It is over!
Knockouts, only on Fight Sports.
Welcome back. The sacred art of pottery making is very much alive today in Makam District, Morobe Province. The people of Makam, especially Zumim, are well known for their clay pots and the richly flavored local food that are cooked in it. They have been given the opportunity to showcase their lifestyle in an event called the Makam Pottery Show.
The clay pots of Makam are as popular as they are important. They are the identity, wealth, and social status. The people of Makam, especially Zumim, will have the opportunity to showcase their culture and the skills that have been passed down for generations in the recently launched Makam Pottery Show, which is scheduled to take place at the end of this year. President of the Makam District Women's Council, Ludi Jacob, was a proud Zumim woman who led her group to welcome a delegation from the National Cultural Commission to Mudzing Station on Thursday, April 4th.
All umi, all an ragam pon is a walking clay pot. Zumim tu mi plus a walking clay pot. Itu mis bin gonna dikim clay pot. Mi karim brukim waranakam. Mi et misa paitim na mis give him no mama blumi sa rolim. Na give him no uncle blumi na also walking clay pot. Mi plus a kisim na clay pot lo namwant. Ground I'm all call him namwant. Mi plus a walk pot also 1 plus 2 hours. Lusim plus mi plus brukim waranakam go upside. So inside of this like cave time mi plus go inside lo dikim clay pot. Mi plus also speak pidgin. Speaking pidgin inside the clay pot area.
The practice of clay pot making is sacred. No outsiders are allowed. Nature is respected.
As placed me plus gonna dikim no plus karim nakam. He got married by step inside and by dikim lo outside. Inside na Salim come outside to marry lo outside by kisim na Kim come outside lo mi plus mama we mi plus up outside no mi plus pass him lo leap. 10 kg mi plus na plus karim because this la heavy blood this la clay pot em nara plus kain. 1 plus 10 kg and bakano si mi plus bakarim na mi plus sit down 4 plus 3 plus time no road na plus come up place.
In big events, the people of Makam go back to the ways of their ancestors. They peel food using pig or cow bones fashioned as knives and put them in their clay pots, which are made using hand-building techniques. Zooming woman Wendy Michael explained that the special soil from Mount Namwan, called gur, is placed on a wooden slab and beaten with a wooden pedal until all debris are removed.
Folding putem stop now all man by only got instrument block him na walk him this level potia.
The smooth clay, after being beaten, is shaped into a pot and left for a week.
Sa kisim em stop yet lo all man walk him long em nem sa kisim straight nem sa no got em stop 1 week all man walk him finish now nim lo house bien now mi plasa cook him lo fire ken walk him big lo fire so mi plus cook him over fire cook him pot nothing so pot em so strong now and mi plus use him mi plus barabi mol banana as banana lo has plong finish now mi plus cook long him so you ba looking some clay pot blen play me got him different kind of all clay pot now only got end all long him they got head pisin san hablo side and this em lo cook him abus you looking was the round plus thread and this em lo cook him kai long him you got end all long him and this em lo cook him kai long him this em lo cook him abus long him one time snake around him head lo pisin by stop lo side and this em lo abus around him straight long him and this em lo cook him kai long him pasen tumbuna big plus something lo mi pro makam all young platu must line him too because nowadays all young play work lo go out no all no sabe lo pasen tumbuna blongol Hosana mi play must bring him all this as something he come on top lo line him can
Kamala Guare, TVWAN News, Lay.
Close to 20 years after the former Brigadier General Jerry Singorok presented the gun control report with 244 recommendations, it has not been tabled in Parliament to date. However, the government has now seen the need to address the build-up of arms in the country, especially in the Upper Highlands, and has now consulted the UN organization to review this report, given the increase in gun-related violence. A workshop is currently underway in Port Moresby to gather reports and views from civil society groups, NGOs, churches and state organizations on how best this can be addressed.
Following this workshop, a small arms survey will be conducted starting June in the Upper Highlands, especially Hela and Southern Islands, and most probably Anga. The UN says they are working in consultation with the government and will review the recommendations made in the Singorok gun report, see what has changed and see how best this issue can be addressed. NEC has also directed EDSO state organizations like police and defense to review their policies and procedures, especially around the storage of weapons, to address the growing concerns around arms build-up. The survey will also look at where guns are being sourced, who funds these purchases, and where the hotspot areas are. Representing the Prime Minister, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Justin Tachenko, is placing the government's hopes on UN to come back with a detailed report to address this growing concern.
This workshop is a very timely and is an opportunity for us to discuss on a comprehensive strategy to address this surge. It is an opportunity for us to lay down a path to effectively tackle the problem of illicit trafficking of SALW.
UNDP resident representatives Nicholas Booth was equally concerned about this issue and its impact on development, and said this survey is vital to answer pressing questions.
The first thing this project is going to do, and I think it's long overdue and I'm very happy about it, is to do that research. And I want to express my hope this research will be participatory research that will engage the communities themselves. We don't need a one-off report that sits on a shelf. We need research that will actually empower the communities that are seeing this violence, know where those bullets and those guns come from, to own that and share that information and monitor it, because this kind of data needs to be not only produced in Papua New Guinea, but it needs to be maintained, and it needs to be accurate, and it needs to be up on a long-term basis. So I'm glad that we have some very important civil society members with us.
He said the government needs to adopt a comprehensive strategy to to address arms buildup and violence, taking into consideration its impact on women and children. Ruth Rungula, TV1 News.
Civil society organizations, NGOs and church representatives who have come face to face with warlords and warriors have revealed gruesome findings into the buildup of arms in the Highlands region. Father Isaiah Timber of Mendi Diocese has met and dined with gunmen who have killed scores of people in Hela province and has taken the opportunity to ask them basic questions of where their guns were sourced from. Amazingly, most gunmen interviewed reveal the big guys or politicians are the ones behind the funding and sourcing of firearms.
Father Isaiah Timber of Mendi Diocese, in presenting his findings to the workshop, said he has seen for himself 34 guns ranging from the simple single shots to SLRs and M16s. Father Isaiah spoke to the owners and users of these guns in Hela province. His questions included how these guns are sourced, how much they cost, and how they are smuggled into the province. He was even told the total number of people gunned down and killed using these 34 guns. Interestingly, politicians topped the list of people funding the purchase of these guns. Father Isaiah also revealed to the workshop participants that police and military personnel were supplying the guns or smuggling them into the province.
The number one area where they get those weapons and ammunition are from police or military, according to those weapon holders. Number two place that they got it is they got it from Indonesia and Australia border.
In Hela alone, 427 people were killed in 2023, according to the data Father Isaiah has kept. From this number, 56 were killed using a gun, and 80% of the deaths were young men aged between 13 and 29.
I have a data for number of people killed from 2018 all the way to 2023, but this is 2023 alone. There were 427 people killed. I did mathematics on average. On average, one weapon killed 3 people.
He made personal recommendations to address this, one of which is for the government to abolish the Guns Licensing Act, as he believes big men with licenses are using this privilege to import guns and supply them to the people.
Country, number one, cut the supply chains of ammunition and weapons. We don't have a factory or we don't have a retail storehouse in Hela province. I don't know how these weapons and ammunition come in, but there is an obvious supply chain somewhere. We need to identify it and we need to cut it somewhere. Remove this so-called licensed firearm acts. If we emphasize on licensed firearm, it will enable our big boys to get more guns and give it to our people.
His finding also revealed that guns have been brought in from the Indonesian and Australian borders. Some were bought while others were traded for drugs. Ruth Rungula, TV1 News.
Following a year-long hiatus due to security concerns, BSP PNG announced the resumption of banking services in Porgera on 15th April, emphasizing the pivotal role of resource investments in driving economic vitality. The BSP Group underscored the significance of Porgera's gold mine reopening, foreseeing it as a linchpin for a sustained economic upswing after a period of dormancy. Following a year-long hiatus due to security concerns, BSP PNG announced the resumption of banking services in Porgera, emphasizing the pivotal role of resource investments in driving economic vitality. The Porgera branch, reopening its doors on April 15, 2024, now offers an array of services, including 2 ATMs, 40 FPOS merchants, and an agent, marking a pivotal return to financial accessibility for the local community. BSP Group General Manager Retail Daniel Font emphasized the importance of banking accessibility, particularly in remote areas, urging community leaders to prioritize staff safety and facility protection to ensure continued access for locals. The absence of banking services since April 2023 had forced customers to travel to Warburg for banking needs. BSB aims to bridge this gap by serving communities with 8 ATMs, 224 FPOS facilities, and 5 agents alongside the Warburg and Porgera branches and Wapinamanda sub-branch. As a prominent retail and corporate bank, BSB Financial Group Limited operates over 120 branches across the Pacific, with more than 80 branches in PNG alone, contributing significantly to financial inclusion and economic development in the region. And now to the finance news. The Kina closed unchanged at $0.2644 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying $0.2569 $0.3961 Australian dollars, $0.2343 euro, and 39.31 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, coffee, cocoa, and copra closed the day higher. Palm oil and crude oil closed the day lower, and copper closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. TVWAN News continues when we return with news making headlines overseas. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Magic, the taste PNG loves.
More clean, more sweet. Flame natural white sugar. Make more.
Beauty is my business, but beauty sure is a tough game. Filters are great, but great skin, better. And that's why my skin deserves the best. So I choose self-care, soaps that gently nourish my skin, resulting in a radiant look, made with tropical ingredients. I trust self-care from City Pharmacy. So bring it on! My skin is ready and so am I.
Hello, WWE Universe. This is WWE superstar Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades. I'm here to set it all on fire. Watch WWE on Digicel TV.
The most important thing is to be happy.
Are you happy?
Not really.
I go to war for you, against anybody.
You are my mother.
Yay.
How big is the universe?
Infinite.
How do you know for sure?
I don't, I just believe it.
What the hell are you doing in my house if you hate me so much? April!
He's seen as a table legend.
That is delicious.
Join Tommy Gomes in a tasty culinary voyage.
Holy mackerel. Did I just say that? We're exploring where your quality American seafood comes from.
Quality is key.
The uglier the fish, the better it tastes.
Take a deep dive into America's commercial fishing culture. The Fishmonger. Streaming now on Outdoor.
Welcome back. Solomon Islanders are set to vote on Wednesday, 17th April, in an election that has significance within and beyond the country's borders. It is the first chance for them to vote on policy directions that the coalition led by Prime Minister Manasseh Sogavare has taken and may change or consolidate his power. Since Sogavare was elected by his parliamentary peers in April 2019, Solomon Islanders have lived through several shocks. Power will be in the hands of the people on election day. But the process of politicians building and retaining political power and how they abuse or share it will be just as important in determining the direction of the Solomon Islands. There's been a lot of terrible and traumatic news in the past few days, and the impact of it is being felt across the entire country. There's widespread anxiety about personal safety, and alongside that, rumors and misinformation have spread on social media.
This makeshift memorial here in Bondi Junction is continuing to grow, with people from all over Sydney coming here to bring flowers, candles, balloons, write messages, and to have a moment to reflect and think about the lives that we impacted by the stabbing attack at the Westfield Bondi Junction on Saturday afternoon. Queensland man 40-year-old Joel Couchy entered the shopping centre and went on a frenzied stabbing attack, killing several people. 6 people died in that attack and several others were injured. One of those 6 is Ashley Good. She's a mother who was carrying her 9-month-old baby girl at the time. She died during that incident, but her baby is still in intensive care in the Sydney Children's Hospital receiving treatment. She's in a serious but stable condition, and she is one of 6 other people who remain in hospitals around Sydney receiving care and treatment from health staff. This stabbing attack has had an impact on people not only here in this community but right across Sydney, and now with the incident that occurred at a church in Sydney's west, people here are feeling re-traumatised by this event.
Pretty scary. I mean, I hope that doesn't keep happening, and it's, you know, it's not what you want to see in Sydney, Australia, and it's not what you'd expect from like the Sydney community and the Australian community.
Maybe the government should implement something to make people safe, you know, because I don't know, like church should be the safe place for everyone, and even in that place you cannot guarantee that it will be safe.
Some people in the community are expressing fears and are feeling anxious around what has happened over the past couple of days. Here in Bondi Junction, though, people are banding together to support one another through this.
Queensland is looking to fast-track an expansion of police powers in the wake of the Bondi attack, pushing for stop and search laws to be extended to shopping centres.
The government is fast-tracking the expansion of the stop and search powers here in Queensland to Queensland shopping centres. So it would mean that Queensland Police, if they want to stop and search you in a Queensland shopping centre, they don't need reasonable suspicion. They can just search you randomly, and they can also use a metal detector on you also in those shopping centres. These laws already exist in Queensland's Safe Night precincts and also on Queensland's public transport. The Premier here in Queensland, Stephen Miles, welcomes these changes. He says what we saw at the Bondi Junction mass stabbing event on the weekend, that just adds weight to why these laws need to be implemented here in Queensland. But civil libertarians are concerned. They feel that this is a knee-jerk reaction and that there's no actual evidence that shows that any of these law changes would prevent something like what happened at Bondi Junction, would stop any sort of attack like that here, and it's impeaching on or infringing on some of Queenslanders' fundamental rights here in Queensland, that police should have reasonable suspicion if they're going to search people randomly in public. The Queensland Police Service, though, welcomes these changes, saying that 1 in 40 people searched on public transport here in Queensland for knives. They found 1 in 40 did in fact have a knife on public transport, and that a lot of that public transport leads into these shopping centres, meaning that at any time in Queensland it is possible that someone is walking around a shopping centre here in Queensland with.
The teenage boy arrested over last night's stabbing attack inside a Sydney church was placed on a good behaviour bond after facing court for a knife crime just 3 months ago. The 16-year-old boy was charged with a range of offences, including possessing a knife in November last year after an incident at a Sydney train station involving other teenage boys. But at the time of last night's attack, he was no longer subject to any court orders or supervision by law enforcement. Police say the 16-year-old was known to them but not well known. New South Wales Police Commissioner Karen Webb declared the stabbing a terrorist incident. 40 years ago, a remote island community in the Indian Ocean voted to become a fully fledged part of Australia. Malay workers on the Cocos Keeling Islands were promised equal rights to mainland Australians, but they're still waiting.
This unique island community, 2,700 kilometres northwest of the mainland, is proud to be Australian. But behind the smiles, there's discontent.
Sebaliknya, selain dari itu, macam orang bilang ni, government dia macam dia sedikit dia just takkan kita.
Rumney Mokhtar's ancestors were brought to the islands as labour in the 1820s to work in the copra industry under control of the Clooney's-Ross family. The Cocos Malays' rights were limited. Many were paid in a makeshift currency.
Or plus money.
40 years ago, they voted to integrate with Australia in a United Nations Act of Self-Determination, marking the end to the Clooney's-Ross rule. Cocos Malay leaders met then Prime Minister Bob Hawke and were promised equal rights. But some of those promises remain unfulfilled.
The way the Commonwealth dealt with it, it's left the community here in a very difficult predicament to be able to own houses or get land tenure.
These people want to own their houses, but the land is held in trust for the community with the Shire's name on the title. The Shire has engaged a legal firm to investigate the land tenure.
We're going to have to spend an inordinate amount of money trying to do something that the Commonwealth's responsible for. And that's just a smack in the face for the people of Cocos Keeling Islands. And it's, it's not acceptable in this day and age.
While a government spokesperson says housing is the responsibility of the Shire. The significance of the anniversary is acknowledged, and it's providing $170 million for services and infrastructure on the islands this financial year. The island's elders hope the anniversary will reinvigorate political will to give them the equal rights they seek.
And that ends the news segment. Tracy joins us after the break with some positive news from the men's under-16 OFC qualifiers. Stay tuned.
This honking is doing your head in. Why don't you go and put a stop to it? Oh, maybe not.
Bing bang bing. Bing bing bang. Bum bum.
Are you ready to meet the best version of yourself? The one with the bright, confident smile? You've got to take pride in how good you look, how fresh your breath smells, and how great you feel. To boss it at work, to be your best for uni, or to catch the eye of that special someone. You've got to brush up your vibe with whiter, healthier, brighter teeth. Brush up for confidence with Colgate.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Payubong im kain heavy long walkabout long you long display ground. Tasol also one public servant, healthcare, life insurance na family security blong you emi big plus something throw. National Public Service New Care Association or PSNA. Emi partner blong you long healthcare, life insurance na too long strong in financial security blong you. One time PSNA, you na family blong you by kisim good plan na quality service. Abay you nap too long by him all bill blong you one time smart card ID blong Mipla. Join in Public Service New Care Association now. Long wana Mipla, he can look out him destiny blong you. PSNA, I mean partner blong you. Long look out him health blong you now. Long come up him good plus sit down blong you. Long behind time.
Attention business leaders, the 39th Australia Papua New Guinea Business Forum and Trade Expo from May 13th to 15th on Australia's dazzling Gold Coast. Dive into the immersive experience of our Trade Expo and showcase your brand, connect with like-minded professionals, and seize the moment to tap into the flourishing bilateral business environment. But hurry, reserve your spot now to secure your stay at the Sheraton. Register today for the Australia PNG Business Forum.
Suppose prophecy and true. One the big the fight will come on. Na time him come true. Me hope boy me stop life here to fight to this position you talk long.
Me plan must make sure to protect him over the line blame me, especially Malia.
Mitra ready. The chosen one, Mitra.
He's seen as a table legend.
That is delicious.
Join Tommy Gomes in a tasty culinary voyage.
Holy mackerel. Did I just say that? We're exploring where your quality American seafood comes from. Quality is key. The uglier the fish, the better it tastes.
Take a deep dive into America's commercial fishing culture. The Fishmonger. Streaming now on Outdoor.
Welcome back. PNG bounced back on fit to victory, beating American Samoa 3-1 at the OFC Under-16 Men's Championship 2024 qualifying in Tonga this morning. American Samoa, right from the whistle, made their intent clear, firing shots at will, but a strong PNG defense kept the Samoan boys at bay. But against the run of play, it was Papua New Guinea that landed the first blow. Lightning striker Israel Ure picked up the ball just beyond the halfway line and made a brilliant run into the box in the 6th minute of play. Ure was the master of the day, recording another goal in the 16th minute. The rest of the first half was intense, with PNG leading 2-0. Both teams' tactics were obvious, half with pace and defense. It was working for PNG. Approaching the half-time, Dangerman Hure tapped it home for his hit trick. American Samoa started to assess their dominance in the final stages with one goal. However, PNG remained staunch in defense as they held on to claim victory. East New Britain Agma Couriers prevailed over the first finishing 2023 Digicel ExxonMobil Cup reigning premiers KMHL Engamiox in a high-scoring affair 38-28 to claim their first win at their new home, the Santos National Football Stadium, on Saturday. From the outset, the Premiers took control of early proceedings, scoring a double in quick succession for a 10-point lead before the Trummers got into their scoring mood.
After a rather slow start to the contest, the Gurias quickly got all cylinders firing using quick rack plays and speed out wide to set the platform for the grueling encounter. Guria's first try came from Hunters prop Tony Warrett, running off a beautiful Wesley Pottery short pass 10 out from the Miox line to open the scoring before Guria's prodigal son and former late Tigers Emil Benjamin pegging his double. Dominic Hannes Jr. followed through before Benjamin's kid brother Chris scored next on the right edge for the 24-10 lead until halftime. Guria's scoring spree continued in the second half when Emil Benjamin picked up his third from a beautiful left side set move, pushing the Gurias further ahead 30-10. Miox showed some resilience heading into the second half and found some joy when Maya Tusa and Williams scored to reduce the margin by 6, 24-30 and setting up a grandstand finish. Gurias speedsters Dominic Annis Jr., Junior's Gone, and Emil Benjamin continued to trouble the rejuvenated Miox outfit on the left edge before Guen went for a crash play on the left corner to give the Gurias some breathing space with a 38-24 lead. The Premiers managed to score a late try to give some respectability to the scoreboard at 38-28. Gurias' little general number 9, Nathan Tete, and a blinder picked up the man of the match.
Even we come through hard times, but we losing families. I mean, supporters back at home. But this la achieve lo mi put him there and boost me game.
Gurias host Central de Barris in round 2 of the Digicel Exxon Mobil Cup 1 p.m. this Saturday, prelude to the QRL round 6 clash between the PNG Hunters and the Redcliffe Dolphins, while Miox will meet Eagles in Minsk 2 p.m. Saturday. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
SP PNG Hunters pro Kosa Bondi is again ripping into his work ethics week in, week out in order to remain consistent and be available for selection every week. In only his second season at the Hunters since making his debut last year, 2023, the Jiraka native has had a rocky start to his QRL debut after picking up a leg injury last season, which kept him sidelined for the majority of the season.
Now fit and ready to give the 2024 season a real crack, Koso Bali continues to work hard on his game with a strong mindset to stay consistent every week and stand out for selection. The young 23-year-old made his debut for the Wagi Tumbe in 2019 before moving across the waters to join up with the Eastern Britain franchise Gurias in 2021, where he became the Rookie of the Year in 2022. His eye-catching form that year earned him a spot in the Hunters final squad last year and has never looked back since. He's aggressive and plays his game hard and direct with intent. His impact of the band adds energy and momentum to the team. Koso's consistency and energy he brings to the team speaks volumes about his character and where he wants to go as the 2024 Host Plus Cup season unfolds. Koso said regardless of where Coach Aiton puts him off the bench or at the starting 13, he is always ready to give his 100%.
I'm la position by me coach him like him so about pest up saying that po Mr. so can begin once I'm like him I give him solo game. I put him 100% every game me draw. Lo mi lo finish him start lo finish him over the round lo 20 round to him start lo finish him. Injury given him start back on what I'm start lo look lo got finish season.
Koso said he's taking one game at a time, and so far the opening 4 rounds have been challenging, but always grateful for the coaching staff who are always around to assist his development as he continues to work hard to better his game.
Yeah, game now 4 round come go. Game blam logo go down no CK some la play. One mistake blam make him la begin blam regroup again. One up me la go wrong lo coaching staff na go go. One na go through lo mistake no blam line. Game at least start to pick up come round 5-6 na bottom bar. Yeah, some la mistake go down lo coaching staff come one come total lo mistake lo me start to look for lo mistake lo me go down lo me start lo me build them come up me also. So lo last week game about lo drop balls about Long eat and stick lumem no one along mit try no walk lo isla to blabacho.
The young prop is keeping his fingers crossed to make the 17-man for this weekend's Round 6 clash against Redcliffe Dolphins at the Santos National Football Stadium Saturday. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Intent. Benji Marshall labeled the Tigers' 24-12 loss to the Dragons their worst performance of the season. The Tigers went into the clash in high spirit after a promising few weeks, winning 2 of their previous 3 games. But it all came crashing down in front of a sold-out Campbelltown Stadium on Sunday as the Tigers struggled to find any momentum.
Marshall believes the Tigers tried chasing the soft way of winning instead of doing the hard yards to try and earn it, but it's confident there's a good lesson in the loss.
I thought that was probably our worst performance this season. Again, I've talked about standards probably every press conference, and today was probably the furthest we were away from the things we've talked about doing and practicing. So, it's a good lesson. We're a team who's still trying to figure out how we win and find our way through it. And today I thought we bumbled around a lot. We practiced all week a certain way we wanted to play, and we didn't execute that. So, it just wasn't good enough.
The West Tigers faithful came alive on the 14th minute when some epic Coruscant magic out of dummy half set up Stefano Utaikamanu. But that was just all about the joy the loyal fans got. It was meant to be a special day with the club not only celebrating members' appreciation round, but also honoring Balmain legend Keith Barnes, who sadly passed away early this week. Instead, it was the Dragons fans that were more engaged in the match.
It's amazing to see all our fans turn up. There's no better feeling than seeing them out there. But like I said to the boys, you have to bring them into the game, and bring them into the game by playing with energy, being aggressive, making them feel like the team's trying. And I just thought today it looked like it was St. George's home game, the way they were playing. They had more energy, more intent than us. Yeah, it's a hard one because like when you want to play a physical style that's pretty direct, you have to choose every week to turn up with the right headspace and be physical, and it's hard. It is hard, and I think we're still understanding that it doesn't just happen. You have to turn up every week and make it happen. And I have to mention, obviously, Keith Barnes today. Footy aside, a legend of the Balmain Tigers he was, how much he meant to us. And just as from my perspective, he was a really positive influence around the Tigers through 2004, 2005, 2006, and really got the boys going. So condolences to his family, and obviously what happened at Bondi as well. Send out our thoughts and condolences to everyone there, because on behalf of the West Tigers, it's been a rough week for everyone.
The West Tigers, meanwhile, failed to score 17 points for the 4th time in 5 games this season in a loss to the Dragons last week, with Benji Marshall's men now in danger of losing much of the positive momentum generated back-to-back wins in rounds 3 and 4. Refreshed from a week off, the Panthers returned to action in Bathurst against the West Tigers side, eager to hold a 2-game winless run. Despite having finished at the opposite end of the ladder to the Panthers in the last few seasons, the West Tigers have a favorable record against Ivan Cleary's heavyweights, having won 2 of their past 4 games against Penrith, including a lone meeting last year. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
That's it for sports. Over to you, Carol.
Thank you, Tracy. And now we'll have the weather forecast for the main centers for the next 24 hours. Southern region, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Port Moresby, partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Momase, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Lae, few showers. New Guinea Islands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Barangao, some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Highlands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Ocean forecast. Coral Sea sees rough with east to southeast winds of 25 to 33 knots. Bismarck Sea sees smooth to slight with east to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Coastal waters forecast. Waters of Samari Island to Cape Vogel and all Milne Bay Islands, seas 1 to 2 meters. Waters of Finchafen through Vitiers Strait to Siasi and Long Islands, seas 1 to 1.5 meters, rising to 2 to 3 meters along warning areas. Waters of Bougainville, seas 1 to 1.5 meters. And that wraps up another edition of TV1 News. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.